Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live. Please share this broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun today. Read the caption of the broadcast. Read the description as well. Share the broadcast. Like the broadcast, which is actually your own offering. Then you can sit back, relax before you start the 2 fighting, 3 fighting, group fighting in the comment section. Do those before then. Share the broadcasts. Of course, I miss you. Chinese contractors, they are funding terrorists in Nigeria. They are funding militants. They are funding all kind of terrorism in Nigeria in the areas where they have interest, or they are currently stealing natural resources of Nigeria. So many questions to be asked. We ask, we may never get answers, but let's put it out there. Usually the common question that people kind of ask every time you talk about killings in Nigeria. Oh, these terrorists attacked the village, they killed 200 people. Oh, they attacked that village, they kidnapped 80 people. What do they really want? 10 years of bloodbath and terrorism in Nigeria. 10 years of illegal mining escalating in Nigeria. Does this too have any connection with religion? Well, we have to ask tonight. Also, the most anticipated, much awaited legal battle between Tinubu, Obi, and Atiku, the Rogbodion, that is still very much around after their charade selection. Well, by this time next week, Friday next week, so to say, then the legal fireworks would have started. Well, on this program tonight, forgetting all propaganda for now, forget all the other things you've heard, I will tell you what is most important and why. It is also very much important you follow this. If you are interested on Mayegun's Diary Politico, what are the prayers of Atiku? What are the prayers of Tinubu? What are the prayers of Obi himself? We should not be kind of swayed by lies, and then kind of gets lost in between what exactly are the points or what are they actually fighting for. It's important. Share the broadcast.
ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Yes.
ayé ẹ̀sùn lájú. aṣòfin tí ń rúfin òwò. ayé ẹ̀sùn lájú. òkúra olóṣèlú. ayé ẹ̀sùn lájú.
The icing on the cake. President select Alhaji Pastor Chief Kolu, the Jaga Bandit, has been listed as one of the 100 most influential people in the world. This thrown a lot of people into frenzy yesterday. How dare you trying to make somebody the most important? I mean, what do you mean? Influential Bawo is a drug dealer. Say, come on, blood they hot. A lot of them didn't even read the article before they pounced on the author. She had to like a kind of lock all her social media handles to save herself from the vitriolic attacks coming from Nigerians that believe that Kolu must have paid her for the Time magazine to launder his image as a very well acceptable, loved person. They didn't read the article. I bet a lot of you who later read the article kind of understand that influence, influence, you have different kind of influence. Here you get the Same Time magazine, right? Once put this guy up. Do you know him? That's Alhaji Shekau. Alhaji Shekau is so influential, like Osama bin Laden. Their influence and their act of terrorism is what make them kind of, they make the news all the time to the point that they have people following them, right? And then they believe in them. Influential people in the world. There's nothing special about it, right? And if you kind of go back to history too, there are those who have been in the same list. Look at that. Time Magazine Man of the Year. Time Magazine Man of the Year. So there's no point in kind of going into that frenzy. It's part of kind of distractions that are unnecessary. While you should be mounting pressure and asking, where is Kolu? Where is he? The man that declared him said they are putting up 12 senior advocates of nonsense in Nigeria to defend the charade. And according to him, what they did on the 25th the 25th of February happened to be the best election ever in Nigeria. So all of these other things are just pure distraction, but they are also part of the whole thing. So, and there are more. But the first part of tonight, before we go into politics, is this concerning part of insecurity in Nigeria. Again, people have been saying this for long, but it doesn't seem that people believe in what they are saying, or like if you believe in what you are saying or what you know, then you should be more concerned about the consequences of such on the rest of us. What do I mean? In the time past, the West, the people they consider the West, they are like America, Europe, yes, they call them the West. Those ones they call the East. I think Asians are part of them, maybe East. They are the Arabian Peninsula and all that. So for decades, right, a lot of people who have seen the presence of the West in the affairs of Nigeria, like you'll find them in almost all sectors, especially the oil sector, oil and gas sector, a natural resources that's so lucrative easy and all that. Yeah, they are much there. But during these decades, right, with different kind of governments in Nigeria, whether military, whether interim or civilian, whatever, hmm? With the presence of the West in Nigeria, for example, and same with all other African countries, by the way, people have considered that to be a ripoff. You know what I mean? Successive governments in Nigeria have contributed with the collaboration of this West, okay, to impoverish the people of Nigeria from generation to generation. Believe so, right? And somehow we decided to call them the imperialists. They are no longer colonialists. They are those who are aiding and abetting the criminals who are running Nigeria. When they get, all they have to take from them is just bribes. And they can just look away. When the environment is being abused, you know what I mean? Environmental degradation and all that, coming from the health and safety neglect of what these guys cannot do in their country. Remember, this is our sentiment. Our sentiment is that all they are interested is what they can take from us, and at the same time help our own criminal leaders to siphon and then save whatever they are looting from Nigeria. That the West have never really contributed anything to the growth of Nigeria other than promoting imperialism and then encouraging the looters of Nigeria and giving them safe havens, including their family members. This is our sentiment. They dipped us into debt. They helped impoverish us while they are cutting away every natural resources they can get from every part of Nigeria. And while the people are getting poorer and poorer, those who are supposed to protect the interest of the people, they are getting richer and richer. So it's not like wealth in the midst of poverty. Decades. Some people were even saying, can Nigeria point at any major projects done by the West in Nigeria, like to help Nigeria, you know what I mean, build rails, roads, and all of that stuff with the loans they are giving to Nigeria? Why is it that they are just like handing the money over to the politicians who are also going to like reloot the money and send it abroad back to the same economy of the lender? That what is actually concrete thing that the West built in Nigeria for 60 years. Now, that's our sentiment. So Chinese came, especially the moment we cross between 2000, the millennium, they call it. The moment we crossed the millennium, the Chinese came. And it was, from the start, a very good thing. They were not greedy. They were not selfish. They are interested in nation building. They are, in fact, interested in long-term relationship. They are giving very low interest loans. They are bringing their own, engineers and expertise, and they are ready to transfer same. All this were much like protecting what they call the local content, to put them under checks, right? They call those foreign direct investment. Obasanjo actually facilitated most of those. Now, 20 years after that, the story is changing, not just in Nigeria, across Africa. The rip-off is in a different way. It is, in fact, in the most illegal way. Now, let me tell you something. When you walk into a bank, right, and then you grab a bag of money and you decide to make for the door, you'll be considered a criminal, a thief who came to rob, right? That is illegal. By law, it is illegal. But you can sit down in an office without having to rob that bank, but with a pen and paper and just a name, or a title attached to your name. You can rob the same bank of of millions or billions of naira. That is legal. You just have to do it the legal way of looting. So you see the two. So in Nigeria, the criminals running Nigeria, right? They need collaborators. However, the same kind of operational procedure, no, what is the need for us? Or can we just look away? So when they brought the Chinese to Nigeria, they developed something called local content. In fact, I think they even made law called local content law, which means any foreign investor in Nigeria, whether na major, whether na small, you would have to have a Nigerian or set of Nigerians as board of directors of that your company. Now, the primary reason by that law is to protect the interests of Nigeria and Nigerians in such businesses. What are the interests of Nigeria and Nigerians? As a member, you are expected to be honest, sincere, and patriotic to your country. So if you have a company that is working in the extractive industry, and through you, they are granted the license to operate and extract and mine. So you would have to represent the honesty in that board that Nigeria is not ripped off, because the benefit of that company should serve the people of that Nigeria first. That should be the primary thing, the patriotic thing. But that is not how Nigeria works. Here you get. So what happened is, what is in it for us? So when those who found themselves in the board of directors of some of these companies, including these Chinese companies, it was easier to corrupt them. Should I say, people were already interested in stealing from you. Then you decided to make it easier for them by saying, as long as they take care of you, they have no problem. Right? So with that, they became on money. Nobody's monitoring anybody anymore. So what does that mean? It now gave birth to the acts of desperation, illegality that has now snowballed into sponsoring terrorism. So there is a tabloid that decided to kind of open the eyes of the people of what is really going on now. Like I said, when the Shell, American company, oil companies, British oil companies, when they were milking and extracting oil from Nigeria, yeah, they were just paying the royalty to the thieves, and the thieves were doing whatever they wanted to do with the money. The country is poor, but the handlers of Nigeria are rich. There are families in Nigeria who actually owns oil wells. They are given to them because of their political connection with those in government in Nigeria. So all they have to do is to bring an American company, a British company to come and help them, mine or extract this oil, right? So they get paid the royalty, they pay the government, everybody is happy. But by the time the one that got to the government is shared among all other organs of government in Nigeria, states, local governments, at the end of the day, when these cankerworms, this cancer, they're cut across all political parties, cut across all religion, they're cut across all ethnic and tribes in Nigeria. By the time the whole money will trickle down, there'll be nothing left in the tap for the main citizens. Okay, this is how it's done. Pay us, give us something. Forget the rest. We'll know what to do with our people. Here you get. So when the Chinese came, they were supposed to operate like normally, build roads, build bridges, get loans, and then all that stuff. Like, it should be things that actually help create jobs, develop communities. If this community has so much natural resources, that is, in fact, you see, when most of these areas where you have these terrorists today, we have now found out that those who are shouting Allahu Akbar, cutting people's head off, those who are telling you that you either accept this or not, or those who are kidnapping you for ransom across Nigeria today, they are now being linked to so many companies, many of them Chinese companies, who have been given licenses to operate at a particular spot in Nigeria, but they have now extended their operation across Nigeria, and the mode of operation is this. scare the people away. And the message is, oh, they want to take over our land. That's actually the message. That these people are coming, the Fulanis are coming to take over our land. But there is also other parts that a lot of people don't even know. It's easier to use that, even though I still strongly believe that after Bokwari's and their other whatever terrorists in their government, when they are no longer given the freeway, or should I say the free pass to the terrorists who are murdering the people that we believe are coming to take land, or that they might actually not just come in to take the land for themselves, but to occupy the land for as long as possible, chase the owners of those places away, extend and start their illegal mining, destroy the whole ecological formation of the land. And when they are done, they move to another place. And that's exactly what is going on right now. So people will be killed. Terrorism, the level of terrorism that is spreading right now, have now been linked to some of these illegal Chinese companies in Nigeria. Some arrests have been made in the past, but that's all. Nothing major. In Zamfara, more than 10,000 people were killed. When we thought the Fulani terrorists, they call them bandits, were attacking farmers. They were killing people on their farms, unprovoked though, only for them to start mining gold, lithium, and so many other natural resources there that are actually like very valuable, resources for an end product like car batteries, lithium batteries, all these strong modern, technological, stuffs that are coming out there. People are being killed. Terrorism are being kind of, spread, and the accusation, the fingers are now pointing at the government of Nigeria as well as the government of China. Now, how is this operation working? In the areas where they have local chiefs, they will approach the local chiefs, approach the youth, offer them money, peanuts to start with, and tell them that with this license from government, so they will bribe the police, they will bribe the police chiefs, they will bribe everyone that needed to be bribed. But in the areas where they believe that they need to get what they want, and these guys are not cooperating, that is when crisis will begin there. Like from nowhere, people being killed and slaughtered and chased out of their homes and houses being, and no arrest will be made. Nothing. It will make the news for a few days, and after that, nobody hears anything anymore. And those areas are now like quarantined, covered up. And to people's shock, these criminals, these foreign criminals in Nigeria that have now have to resort into terrorism to get what they want, they have been fingered as, they're actually being protected as, as expatriates in Nigeria. They are rogues driving tinted cars, being chauffeured by escort vehicles where you have well-armed policemen, military, guiding them into the heartland of most terrorized part of Nigeria. So other questions are like, how are they getting all of these things out of Nigeria? And how much of this our people have died for today? Let me show you one clip out of an arrest made in 2020, I believe. Let's check this.
The operation at this illegal vast dredging site with two major...
This is present, okay? This one is the old one.
Zamfara State Commissioners of Police Usman Nagogo led the operation to the hiders of the Chinese nationals who are engaging in illegal mining at the Kwali mining site. The police stormed the house where the foreign nationals are residing at Nasara Bukulu community in Bukulu local government of Zamfara State and arrested two of them. Also arrested alongside the foreigners was a Nigerian girl. She is said to be a cook and cleaner for the foreign illegal miners. The arrest of the two foreigners indicates that it is not only Nigerians who are operating illegally at the Kwali mining site in Zamfara state, but foreigners as well. CP Nagogo explains that the police is committed to ensure the enforcement of the federal government ban on mining activities in Zamfara state. That is why it has deployed about 63 additional mobile policemen to the Kwali mining site.
Fuzzling us was the fact that the federal government has banned all mining activities since 2016 in Zamfara. So we are not expecting to see even a Nigeria engaging in gold activities, and not to talk about even a Chinese national. But you are living witness. The Chinese personnel are here and they are engaged very much in that illegal mining activity. Decision will be made by Inspector General of Police, because from here we will transfer them to Abuja. In Abuja we will make necessary decisions and our own stop at.
Items recovered in the house include chemicals, gold, sand, and charcoals, among others, which are being used by the foreign nationals in the minings of gold at the Kwali site. Adamu Silas, AIT News, goes out.
You get that? Illegal, destroying the environment, and once they are done and they have nothing left in that site, they will move to another part as well. And it is everywhere. When they make the news, it's just to tell you that maybe 1 out of 1,000 of them is making the news maybe once or twice in a year. And the only reason why they will make the news is just when the bribe is not shared accordingly, right? As you are seeing them displaying one set, they are protecting other sets elsewhere. The environment, you see, I'll come back to that. The health hazard of this is another scenario, but the immediate violent attack, the killings of the people, for no reason, they'll just tell you that 45 people killed in Benue. Why are they killing them? For what? Oh, there are 30 people killed in Sokoto, 60 people kidnapped, 20 killed in Katsina. And you'll be wondering, what do they want? Like, what exactly do they want? They don't want anything. They want what is actually under the ground that these people are living. And the only way to get rid of them, when they are not taking all the offers they are giving them, is to force them out, unleash violence. And that is why most of the violence that you get to read about in the news, they are like after they happened, are mostly coordinated, which means you'll be wondering, how did those people escape? How could they operate for 4 hours in a community or several communities? They massacred and killed people 4 straight hours, and there was no single response from anywhere. State-sponsored terrorism. APC, Egbekegbe, unleashing terror on your people, unable to protect them, and being so dishonest with them, telling them this is our problem, this is what we're facing. Rather, just kill them. That's what they will say, right? In Rivers State, it is not just gas flaring, crude oil spillages and all that the environment in Rivers State is suffering from. They are also extracting other natural resources there, mineral resources there, that are also endangering the lives of the people, destroying the environment. And here we are, no real medical facility to even let people know what danger they are exposed to. Instead of, a lot of people are suffering different health problems right now in Nigeria. They have no idea what they are suffering from. They have no idea where they all came from. But guess what? The environment is continually being ruined illegally. They can mine anything anywhere. But these are meant to be with the chemicals that have been released into the atmosphere, with the level of, contamination that they are actually exposing to the underground water as well. Things that actually contribute to health hazard of the people are considered, when people now start having that health problems, then they will say spiritual attack, spiritual problems, and the rest of that. I was on Twitter earlier today, and then somebody posted that in a market in Lagos, someone ran mad. He ran mad. So others who are commenting under that. So because he ran mad, they now tied his hand, they tied his leg, and he was left on that dirty ground and all that. And everybody was just staring at him because he ran mad. So in Nigeria, they just believe that people just run mad. You get that? So when you tell them about a mental health problem, right, that actually starts from small and it start building and start building up and start building up until it kind of, escalates. And when it escalates, right, then they have that episode. That episode that those who are actually, some of those who are tying that guy, that he ran mad, maybe he did their money ritual, or maybe he did maybe somebody swear for him. So he ran mad. Majority of them are suffering from mental health problem as well. Their own hasn't kind of built up to the level of exploding to run mad. It is the same thing with the level of exposure that people are exposed to in Nigeria, where a lot of the health problem they are suffering from are coming from all of these activities that people are doing just because they want quick money. A quick money that doesn't actually take them out of poverty, further contributing to their poverty state and all that. And the government that should know better, the government, the people in government that should care more, are also the same. They are just interested in what is going to come out of it for them. So everybody is just living in that way. And in River State, where they are suffering, Niger Delta region, where they are suffering environmental degradation, where sea life is almost to extinct right now. Yes, some of you can go to some part of Nigeria and go fishing. In Niger Delta part of Nigeria, it is just pretty much like a miracle for them to go to their rivers, to their streams, or to their oceans that they want to go and fish, like you. Now, if they actually get any fish from their river, they are eating poisonous food, because most of those fishes are product of contaminated water. That is River State, but that's not the only, that's Niger Delta. A big problem that's even this Bokwari's government campaigned, and they publicly said they expended $2 billion. A joke, right? Ogoni cleanup. So they will spend $2 billion. In fact, Pastor Ruga came out and he said they've spent $2 billion cleaning Ogoni land. They took some katakata and some tipper, took some pictures, excavating excavating a portion, and then they took pictures. They said, yeah, that's Ogoni cleanup going on. $2 billion has been paid. And this was probably 4 or 5 years ago. Ogoni land is still very much contaminated with crude oil, soaked ground. I'm saying go to these areas in Niger Delta, right, and shove your shovel, right? Dig your shovel into the half there, onto the ground, and dig it out. And then you will realize that it's all contaminated with crude oil and other chemicals that have been released to the. Cleaning this up is a special campaign, a special fraud that those who are supposed to care for Nigerians are rather milking it. It's an opportunity for every one of them over time. Now we have those who are also mining illegally, doing worse. Cancer and other strange illnesses, children suffering different kind of ailments, some of them that cannot really be diagnosed. Children in Nigeria, nobody can really say what is wrong with them. They are taking them to spiritual houses. They are trying to force them to force the demon out of them. But again, the government that should know better, educate the people better, protect them more. No, they will rather milk it. Here is another report. This one is recent from the same River State.
The operation at this illegal vast dredging site with 2 major sand dumps lasted for almost 2 hours. It was initiated by the Federal Ministry of Mines and State Development to check environmental degradation and other harmful activities. The ministry was ably supported by a retinue of security operatives from the Army, the police, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, and men of the Federal Ministry of Immigration.
The aim is to interrogate them by way of investigation. If they have any document to show on how to go into this business, because to go into this business, you need licenses, and even if they are foreigners, before they come, to enter into that business, they should do their due diligence.
Oga Michael Bisong is the Rivers State Commandant, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, whose custody the 9 suspects are kept for interrogation, preparatory to their prosecution for illegal mining and environmental degradation.
Whatever mining activities are going on, it's our duty to provide security, also to work with Federal Ministry of Mines and Steel to discourage illegal mining and other mining that, even if they are legal, the mining should not degrade the environment.
Umaruba is particularly pained that these miners continue with their illegality daily, even with the devastating impact on the environment, humans, and aquatic life.
You can see clearly from where we are seeing, even they have left even dredging the sand from the river. They have even gone to the upper land and, breaking down the walls, degrading the environment, which is not too good. So that is why we have to at least come here and get them so that they can explain and to tame the tide and send the signals to others.
Impounded at the raided site, said to be operated by an unnamed Chinese company, are 3 sand dredgers with 1 loaded with sand. Both were taken to the NSCDC exhibit yard at Ogbogoro in Port Harcourt. On site during the operation were 6 tippers, 2 payloaders, store/mechanic workshop housing different parts of machines used for fixing faulty operational equipment, 25-liter kegs of lubricant oil, tug ropes, 15 bags of cement, gas cylinder. Amongst the 9 persons arrested are a Chinese national and a lady who operates point of sale and other financial transactions for the illegal miners at the Akpajo sites. Suspects were not allowed to be interviewed by the media. From Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital, Andy Omano.
Thank you very much, Andy. And the credit for that clip goes to Arise News. They give us that. Now, this should be something that should get you thinking. I know some of the Lagos Sabobakus, they can always be very unruly. Unfortunately, right? You are those exposed to the danger of what this actually represents. The danger is monumental. That's the health and part of it. And when you get hit by any of this, it won't kind of spare you because you are supporting APC or you are a member of APC. It won't spare you simply because you don't like Mayegun. So because you don't like Mayegun, all of these things will never touch you. Come on. If you have it's sad. Let's be honest, okay? It is a very hard thing for anybody who publicly profess for APC, Egbekegbe, to have brain. It is very uncommon. You won't need it. Why would you be thinking? When they were already you already assessed that they do the thinking for you. I'll come back to you. This is not politics now. This is something that could actually take away your life or the life of those you probably care for. And it won't be because you are either Yoruba, Igbo, or Hausa. Everybody is now exposed to it. And that is the danger. We only have these little evidences to kind of prove the point. You know, if I sit down here and I'm just talking like, all that, it's going to sound like boring, It's going to sound like, is he making all these things up? And that is why, if you have a mind of your own, whether you are living in Nigeria or you are not living in Nigeria, it is a call for concern. Let me show you the violent part of it. They are killing people in this part of Benue. And they have actually been killing people for so long. Somebody will tell you, is it today they are killing people? The question is, why? So if we then have evidence that there are those who are actually conducting illegal mining, that they are actually said to do, they are not like people, conducting mining is not something that you can just do overnight. No. In the areas where you are welcome, you are going to hire the youth in that area. To them, they are working for a company. Meanwhile, your job is illegal. All you have to keep it legal is to pretend that you are helping the community to help them degrade their community. They don't know what you are really looking for per se or how you do it, but they believe they are working for a company, even though it is illegal. That's where they are accepted. So they will be paying those they call the elders, leaders, chiefs, or kings in those communities. No wahala. Sure, you get? Those ones are like in their thousands across Nigeria. But those who fail, or let's say when some new people get to know about them and they come to demand for their bribe and you are not giving them, or they change the leadership of all those group you are giving money to, and you refuse to follow the new leader, or the new one is demanding for more money and you are not giving them, then they will bring their men, they will bring media, they will pretend that they are working. But in the areas where all of these are not existing, I mean, the people of the area are not cooperating, the police and the rest of them are kind of playing hard, then they will unleash terror, move guns and the rest of that. And then you'll be like, why are they killing them? What do they want to collect from poor people? For example, people in IDP camp, what do you want to collect from them? That you have to go to people that you killed their relatives and family members and people they loved. You turn children to orphans. You turn women to widows, men to widowers. And some of them are now living, some young men to disabled. Now they are living in refugee camps, far away from their homes. And then you turn gun on them. For what? Have you ever asked yourself, like, for what exactly? What do they really want from them? Then we realize that it may not actually be what they want from them, but because what they want from the land that they are staying on. And the only way to get rid of them, get rid of everything for some months, settle down and start setting up their mining machines. And once they are done within 3 months, it's like a movable thing. Sure, you get. They just come here. You know, if you want to mine legally, they will do all the documentation. They will do all the kind of environmental check. They will then set a sort of a barrier to distance the area in a way that civilians and the place you are mining, right, there will be a level of segregation. So that whatever is being done in that place, following the rules and regulation put in place, right, means that everything happening in that place is protected by the Nigerian law. And therefore, whatever comes out of there is also protected by the Nigerian law. But that is not happening. So once they chase the people away and kill them, they set up their camp. For a few months, when they are done, they move. They leave the entire place, wherever it is, whatever they have actually, exhumed from the earth. They leave everything there and they move on. So, this is the part of the violence. Killing people for what?
The youth in this community. And what I am saying, the complaint that I have this morning, that I want the whole country to listen to, Mr. President to also listen to me, is all about peace and security of this great local government. I am from another place called Ikobi. Since the 2nd of January, we have been attacked by herdsmen. Nobody from that community can reside in their place. We have been in the local government headquarters. More than how many kilometers in Ikobi, Ogba, Ologba, Ugbobi, Ijaha, Imana, Akpete. All these places that I'm mentioning for you, they are not staying in their places. Which government that will not protect its citizens? What kind of government is that? When the youth start shouting, you say they are making trouble. We are not making trouble. We have been protesting since morning. Nobody have ever raised arms or cutlass or anything. Fulani man will be riding cow with classes, AK-47. Nobody will say anything. They have another immunity that they are operating, that we Nigerians, we don't understand. The government should tell us if they have more power than other citizens of this country. As you look at this community, all the people you see around here, they are not from this community. They are from the community being displaced by the herdsmen. The community called Ugbobi, Under the same local government, a bidder chief was killed and the hand that controlled the bid was taken away by these same headers. And you want us to keep quiet. Which country are we? The government should tell us, where did we belong to? Are we also citizens of this country? I am asking questions and I need an answer. Soldiers will be around the community, still the army, the Fulani herdsmen will be coming to behead people. What are they there for? Are they protesting us? Are they guiding the community? Or are they playing games with our lives? This is a pure video of what is happening in Borno State. There are some persons or individuals who will be making sure that there will be no peace in this country because they are benefiting from it. They should call the GOC commandant, 72 Battalion, Nasme Barras in the Makodi, ask them questions. The boys you posted to Apa, don't touch me. The boys you posted to Apa local government to safeguard lives and property of the citizens in Apa local government. What are they doing? We have 2 barracks in Makodi, in Benue State Headquarters. We have 72 Battalion, we have Nasme Barracks. The commandants that send these boys down there, they should ask the boys, what are you doing? What are you doing? Which job are you doing there? They are fucking our girls, fucking our wives, killing our girls, making merriment because we have situation in our hand. We are tired of that. We are making this protest because we want Nigerians to know that people are passing through difficulties.
Thank you.
There are women who are running with children all over the places. They don't know where to hide their head. There are boys who can no longer go to school because they are scared of Fulani herdsmen. Fulani have turned our schools in the village to their camp. Are we under civil war? Are we going through civil war in this country? Let the government tell us. Let the governor of the state tell us. Let Mr. President tell us. We are not happy. And I want to make it categorically this morning that we are not happy, but we are not violent people. You can see the youth around here. Nobody is carrying arms. Nobody is carrying cutlass. Nobody is carrying any kind of weapon in their hand. Armies are here shooting gun. But I'm telling you, they should shoot from now till night. We are not going to resist. We must stand our feet and make our voice heard. Please, I want to create a judgment because people will be looking at it that maybe you are spoken, you have come out to expose some societies. My life is not safe. My life is not safe. My identity has been exposed. My name is Ahmed Shedan from this community. I'm not hiding them because I am no better than those who have lost their lives. If I am good, I am not good more than those bearded chiefs that the Fulanis have killed. Fulani have the contact of the same man to call him. Where are you? And the man thought maybe the people are his people and he identified his whereabouts. They went there to behead the man. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? What kind of country do we want to build? A country with...
Am I here to think that the APC is the best thing to happen to Nigeria? I'll be a fool to say so. Am I here to say that there are no thieves within the APC? I'll be a fool to say so. Will I be here to defend the APC as the purest political party, as the cure all and be all, and the and the cure all cure elixir we have been looking for? I'll be a fool to say so. No.
How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Ah! Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry, oh. May God not allow them, make them kill you.
Amen. Now that is the violence part of it. I mean, the credit for that clip goes to Idoma TV, and we are grateful for that clip because it's just to show to you that this is non-graphic or what people are actually going through. I was reading your comments there when some of you were saying, my friend, stop shouting, fight back. Now, let me tell you something. You kind of have to come to reality for a moment. to understand that when you are battling with state-sponsored terrorism, simply means the people you are seeing and the group you are seeing and that are being mentioned all the time, they are not super powerful. In fact, the people could take them on themselves. Historically, tribes and ethnic nationalities in Nigeria, they survived by fighting different invaders in their history. I mean, I am an Ijebu man. And as an Ijebu man, I have my very rich history about the conquest of Ijebus, as well as the resistance of the Ijebus against invaders. So Nigerians, everybody from every part of Nigeria, I mean, historically, are never, ever kind of coward. They have never been cowards in fighting back any invaders. Yeah, you win some, you lose some. Somebody said, yeah, you win some, you lose some. But people survived centuries until now, when APC, Egbekegbe, took charge of Nigeria and decided to disarm Nigerians. Now, let me tell you how that works. We initially spoke about, or we were talking about the influence, as well as, the influence of the Chinese minor contractors, they are called, in funding militants, they are called, or bandits. Or can't you just come clean and call it a funding terrorism? How? I'll tell you. The government of APC, Egbekegbe, gave a blanket immunity to Fulani terrorists. And they went to market, right, to delegitimize Nigerians from talking about it by therefore labeling them as Fulaniphobic. Now, Fulaniphobic means if the terrorists come to your locality with their cows, the Fulani terrorists with their cows, their guns, and they wreak havoc, when you are making that report, just call them bandits. Don't say Fulani bandits or Fulani terrorists. Don't say that. That is Fulaniphobic. I've been a Fulaphobic. I think I made that word up, because even myself, I haven't really kind of heard it before. I've heard about Islamophobia, and all of that phobia. And we've also come to accept that there is also an existence of Igbophobia. Or Fulaniphobia. Anyway. You are just going to be labeled the enemy, the aggressor, the instigator, the inciter. You are inciting the people against the Fulanis. Hello, I said Fulani terrorist. Say all Fulanis are they all Kawi-Rearas? Can't we, but just say some criminals. We have a Igbo bandit. We have a Yoruba bandit. We have a... Hello, calm down. We have criminals, yes. But we are talking about terrorists here who are migrating, massacring people, wreaking havoc, and no single arrest is made. No single conviction is made. Not even a prosecution. So how many Yoruba bandits have you found in Sokoto? Kidnapping and killing people, collecting ransom and beheading people. How many Igbo bandits have you found in Ilesha or Oshogbo? How many Igbo bandits have you found somewhere in Kebbi? Kidnapping people, collecting ransom, and making videos of it. So please, that is what the propaganda of APC did. They kind of wanted Nigerians to be scared of talking about what they saw or what they see. So it became an offense. Hate speech. Hate speech against Fulani. It's because you hate Fulani, because Buhari is Fulani. Hello. People are dying. And if Buhari cares about everyone, whether you be Fulani, whether you be Igbo, whether you be Yoruba, once you commit a crime under your law, you should be apprehended, prosecuted, and then punished for your crime. We discovered that rather than that, we found Miyeti Allah. Miyeti Allah Bawo. Miyeti Allah. And then the presidency of Bokwari said, Miyeti Allah is equivalent to Ohaneze Ndigbo and Afenifere of Yoruba and Arewa of Arewa land. Really? The people that are spokesperson for killers, murderers, they are now equivalent to the cultural, traditional, and what have you, or groups and organizations. Yes, APC said that. And that is why, if you see the leader of Miyeti Allah, you will think it's either a deputy governor of a northern state or a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He has his own convoy. He has his own security. He's protected 24/7. Yeah, he drives like, high-profile guy that is giving the governors of southern Nigeria ultimatum. If you don't do those, so we'll deal with you. Really? Under this APC, now this is like an organized capture. They are in control of the military. They are in control of the police. And they started disarming the people, taking away their weapons. If they see you with ordinary knife, Omo Kutu engineer, Omo Suleja prison. May your creator not let you go there. So it became an offense. And guess what? Whenever these terrorists are coming to attack, listen, they don't come during the day. They come during the night, when people are sleeping. And when they come, they first set homes and houses ablaze. They come in their hundreds on their bikes, right? And when people start running out of their houses, that's when they will be hiding and start shooting and killing people. Children, women. In that pandemonium, in that chaos, they will just start macheting the people and the rest of that. Bodies everywhere. Those who survive are run to the hills or run to this, right? These are the people that have already been disarmed. They also have people who actually say, yeah, that one has a gun, that one has this or that. People are being picked up by the secret police in Nigeria that are not making the news. They are being charged for terrorism simply because they are suspected to be one of those that could stand up and defend their communities. Why do you think they kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu? Why? Because he kept telling them that the Igbos will defend themselves. And he started showing it. That was what put him on that red flag, like Aya flag. Why? Because those who are supposed to keep the people safe are those behind those who are terrorizing the people. So the Chinese who are also committing all of this, it's like the place you wanted to plant kola nuts. I want to plant kola nuts here. Then you went and you came back maybe 4 or 5 months later. And then you have seen that there are some short of kola nuts trees that are already like kind of, popping up. That's exactly what you have. Nigeria is already being taken over by terrorists in government. They have made provision and protection for terrorists in Nigeria. Even when people fought back, listen to this one, they managed to capture these terrorists and all that. The Nigerian military will go back there. The police released them anyway. Now, you see, when the terrorists finally chase everybody away, do all they want to do. When the people start gathering, like, we need to fight back, we need to fight back, the military that didn't show up for 6 hours, when these people are being slaughtered, when these communities are being burned down, the military will now show up. They are not there to chase the terrorists. They are there to stop the communities from coming together and staging a reprisal. Reprisal attack is that we know them. And guess what? Surprisingly, the communities that have come under different attacks, before they came under attack, they have always been like raising alarm of this surprise, sudden, weird gathering of Fulanis in some local communities or the forests. They will be raising alarm. Nobody will listen to them. So when they get attacked, the survivors, when they come back and say, okay, yeah, we need to go back and face them, they usually know where they are. Yeah. The perpetrators of terrorism in Nigeria usually don't go away when they finish. Have you seen that before? You come to a community, you kill tens of people, and you still stay around. You are not scared that military will come, the police will come, or they'll start raiding. They still hang around. Some of these communities actually group themselves to go back and fight them. That's when the military will show up with their full kit, everything, and they'll start shooting at the people gathering so that to disperse them. They will still even arrest some of them, and this has been the mode of operation. So now knowing that this whole thing is actually not about religion, those who are trying to play religious card, promising the fanatics, the religious fanatics in northern Nigeria, that they are fighting jihad. They are doing everything to save Islam. And that is why they have to support them electorally. Majority of them, right? It is now very much obvious that maybe this whole thing, in fact, what is maybe? I don't want to put doubt in your mind. I want you to see this clearly, okay? The fight of the terrorism in Nigeria is not about religion. It is a fight for the vast mineral resources scattered all over Nigeria, and the fanatics using religion to win elections, using religion to intimidate and threaten people, especially in northern Nigeria. It is coming to light that it is not about religion. It is actually about control over a vast resources that Nigeria and the handlers of Nigeria would rather profit from than utilize for the benefit of all of you. Turn Nigeria to a place that will stop begging, borrowing, and that will stop producing the poverty that has made a place the poverty capital of the world. The resources are there, and this is why they are killing you. You don't know what is probably targeted at your own area right now, and you may never know until you begin to ask questions. Why are they killing us? What do these people want? Do they want to come and turn us to Islam and all that? Are they coming to say they are fighting for? No, nobody is fighting for anything. They are fighting for this and using religion to recruit the people, giving them the drug and the money, the guns, right, to go after and chase people out of their communities. Now, if Nigeria was a place, the question people are asking is that, can these people who are funding this terrorism in Nigeria, can they do the same thing in countries like this, in Europe, in America? Would the Americans actually allow something like this to be done by the Chinese in their country to their people? And all of you who are living in these countries, right? And then seeing the damages this is, genuinely, some would say you can't blame the Chinese. Okay, you blame the people that allowed them, right? So good. So when you see the terrorism in Abia, in Abuja, Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Anambra, Bauchi, everywhere you see this terrorism, no matter the coloration they give to it, no matter the name they try to call it, if you pay attention very well, they are just the disguise, to get you talking. You know, Nigeria is so divided. Religion, tribe, and all those. So what would they do? Just flag that. A divided country that can't keep our people safe exposes itself. Now, look at it this way. We have terrorists coming from the Sahel, from Niger, from Chad, according to the we have some coming from Libya, others coming from all these places, okay, invading Nigeria. And then you start asking, what do they want from Nigeria? Why should all of us be, our lives should be endangered? Now, let me show you this. Simply because you have a greedy, selfish people, right? That the corruption runs so deep that the deep states that have taken over everywhere are ready to let us die because of these natural or mineral resources, right? I am from Ogun State, okay? So we also have, let me see. Yeah, we have a bitumen. We've got bitumen that is used for making a road. You see all those your road, quota on your road. Bitumen, we have that. So we have clay. Sorry, we have clay. We have feldspar. I don't know what that is. We've got gemstone. You know, gemstone is also like a very valuable stone called gemstone. We've got kaolin. We've got limestone for cement. We've got a phosphate. We've got a gas, LNG, liquid natural gas as well. Just to mention but few. Like Nigeria is so blessed across the place, right? That the owners of Nigeria could not really maximize that to the advantage of their people. Foreign direct investors who are attracted to your country because of what you have should primarily know that, number one, you should be considered very rich, not considered very